Okay, so here's the deal. Imagine you're watching a WNBA game, and suddenly a player gets hit so hard it looks like it could end their season. But instead of focusing on the danger of the play, the conversation shifts to race, media bias, and whether calling out a foul is somehow politically motivated. Sounds chaotic? That's exactly what went down with DiJonai Carrington's hit on Sophie Cunningham. And honestly, the way this story unfolded reveals way more about the WNBA's media ecosystem than it does about basketball. Let me break this down. First, let's talk about the play itself. Carrington, a player known for her aggressive style, went for a block on Cunningham during a fast break. But here's the problem. She didn't just block the shot. She made contact above the neck, launching Cunningham into the air. The refs slapped her with a flagrant 2 ejection. Rightly so in my book. But here's where things get wild. Carrington immediately retreated to the locker room, pulled out her phone, and posted a Threads message calling out white privilege while tagging the Indiana Fever. Wait, what? This was a disciplinary action for her own reckless play, and she flipped it into a racial grievance. And get this, the WNBA media didn't just shrug. They circled the wagons. ESPN analyst Andrea Carter tried to downplay the hit by saying, "This is just what Carrington does." She even admitted Carrington was too far behind the play, and the contact was too much, but then excused it like it was inevitable. Let me pause here. When did aggressive style become a free pass for dangerous behavior? If a player is consistently putting opponents at risk, shouldn't the league be addressing that instead of shrugging? But what's even more fascinating is how quickly the narrative shifted from player safety to race. Imagine a white player doing the same thing and then blaming black privilege or whatever. The backlash would have been nuclear. But here, it's treated as a legitimate talking point. Now, Sophie Cunningham isn't just some random player caught in this mess. She's been vocal about opposing transgender athletes in women's sports, which, in case you've been living under a rock, is a huge third rail in the WNBA. She's called out policies that she thinks undermine women's sports, and that's made her a polarizing figure. From my perspective, that context matters. Is the media's defense of Carrington's hit influenced by ideological lines? Because let's be real, Cunningham has a target on her back for speaking out. And when a player like Carrington, someone with a history of dirty plays, targets her, the response feels different. Remember when Carrington clocked Caitlin Clark in the eye during the playoffs a few years back, and then mocked the backlash online? Same pattern. Dangerous play, minimal accountability, excuses about style. Here's the deeper issue. This incident exposes a double standard in how aggression is framed. If a black player hits a white player, the media scrambles to dissect the systemic factors. But if the races were reversed, I'd bet my next paycheck the coverage wouldn't be nearly as forgiving. And this isn't just about race, it's about power dynamics in sports media. The WNBA has built its brand around social justice, right? But when a player weaponizes that language to dodge accountability, where's the line? Carrington's Threads post wasn't about systemic racism. It was a get-out-of-jail-free card. And the league's media complex ate it up. So where do we go from here? Player safety has to be non-negotiable. Period. You can't have a style that puts others at risk, no matter how many points you score. But the bigger question is whether the WNBA and its media allies are capable of separating legitimate social justice issues from convenient distractions. Because if every foul turns into a debate about race or politics, we're all missing the point. Sports should be about competition, respect, and yes, accountability. And until the league stops letting its players or its commentators rewrite the narrative, this chaos isn't going anywhere. What do you think? Is the WNBA's media too biased to cover these incidents fairly? Or is this just the price of mixing sports with activism? Drop your takes below. Let's see if we can figure this out together.